Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream, and I'm going to do your June the 11th Spiritual Principle a Day in a Meditation. The title of today's meditation is Approaching Life Creatively. When we are engaged in creative action of the spirit, whether in our personal lives or in our service work, we may be surprised by the solutions that present themselves. That comes from Guiding Principles, Introduction, Guiding Principles. Living clean and working the steps gives us loads of practical experience with applying spiritual principles. Open-mindedness unlocks some doors for us in step 2, and we learn the benefits of being flexible in our thinking. The trust required to turn our will and lives over in step 3 gives us new confidence in the quiet knowing we might call our faith or intuition. With these and other experiences to draw from, it gets easier to align our actions with spiritual principles. With enough practice, spiritual solutions become second nature. We find ourselves more flexible in our thinking and more ready than ever to engage in creative problem solving. We practice listening to our intuition and learn to sift out impulses that are rooted in the disease. We tune into what some call our higher selves, the better angels of our nature, or simply good judgment to find inspiration that's more closely aligned with our spiritual center. One member shared, with some time clean and some steps under my belt, I've realized that my head wasn't always trying to kill me. Sometimes we're inspired to give up our seat on a crowded bus, to take a panel into a treatment center, or to get back to our education. Age be damned. Creative action of the spirit can lead us in any number of directions. We continue to be amazed by our creative capacity to craft spiritual solutions to the challenge of living life on life's terms. We stumble upon new career paths, find new ways to serve, and learn new lessons. When we are engaged in living in the world and participating with other humans, our focus shifts from our self-centeredness to a more global perspective. That shift might be just what we need to live in the solution as regular contributors to the greater good. I will approach life creatively today. I am open to inspiration and the guidance of a loving higher power and willing to contribute to our common good. Let's take a moment of silence followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. That's an amazing reading. It takes us a little bit deeper into rough terrain, deeper waters in regards to the Just for Today in a meditation, speaking about actually living clean, being clean and living clean. And this is talking about the living clean part. How do we move into that? What brings us to that? And what does that look like? And I enjoy the part where it indicates that creativity is a result that comes as a result of living clean. We become more open-minded. And with that open-mindedness, opportunities that present themselves become more of an option. We lean into spiritual principles. We lean into making right decisions. And these become more second nature for us the longer that we stay around and apply what we've already learned. It's just like anything else. If I'm in the third grade and I've applied what I've learned and I have developed my skill, more than likely, without fail, more than likely, 99.9% sure, I will move on to the fourth grade. The summertime, that school break in between the third grade and going up to the fourth grade, there's still skills that are available for me to hone in on. If I've learned how to do fractions, right? And I understand that breaking a dollar bill into 4 quarters is the same as saying 4/4, right? Each quarter is 1/4. I have an opportunity when I go to the grocery store with my parent and we need to pay something like $2.50 for a bag of chips. I'm understanding that I'm looking at 4/4 times 2.5. And I understand, right, that I'm looking at 10/4. And so I can apply that information. I can apply it and I begin to learn it and use it in my life. And when I go to the fourth grade, I understand that a decimal point is about to tell me what fraction in hundreds, right? What fraction I'm dealing with. It's the same thing in recovery. As I begin to apply spiritual principles of step 1, 2, and 3, I figure out, I need to turn my will and my life over to the care of God as I understand them. As I go into the step 4, I should have that. That should be a capacity I have as I go into step 4, because there's going to be things that are going to come up from my past. And I'm going to need all of the help that I can get to be able to recall them, to write about them, and eventually, as I graduate to step 5, talk about them, right? Exposing the exact nature of my wrongs. Yeah, it's pretty intense, but it's something that's worth trying compared to where we've come from. Letting your higher self, or the part of you that leans into the greater good of things, right? The better angel of your nature. Allow those to take precedence, to lead the way, to guide the way in our behavior. And we'll be surprised what shows up in our life. I know people that don't have higher levels of learning, like education, there's certain degrees, but they have higher levels of spirituality and application of spiritual principles. And because of that nature being so prominent in their personality, they've landed positions that people with master degrees would normally take in the field of whatever it is, right? So that's creative. And that's a new possibility arising. And a lot of faith, because they didn't shrink back from it. They took on these positions. I know several people that have created their own job. They're not dependent on anyone for money. Their own creativity has caused them to have an income. If they can do it, we can do it. My name is Mighty Stream. Today, I want you to approach your life creatively. Be open to inspiration and guidance from a loving higher power, God as you understand him, and willing to contribute to our common good. I've enjoyed talking to you today. I'm going to have a beautiful day on purpose, and I know that you will too. Leave a comment down below if there's anything you'd like to talk about. As soon as I see your comment, I promise you, I will respond.